Hi everybody. Today we're going to do lesson 816 and it's going to be very similar to what we did yesterday. We're going to solve a quadratic equation algebraically, and then we're going to also graph it and see how they relate to one another. So here we go. The equation I'm going to use is y equals negative x squared minus 6x minus 9. Okay? All right, so now we're going to use the quadratic equation. I'm just going to skip a little space here. Write out the quadratic equation formula. It's x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay? All right, so now what we need to do is name our a, b's, and c's, our ABCs. All right, so a here, a equals negative 1. B equals negative 6, C equals negative 9, okay? All right, so we're going to fill our formula in then. So it's x equals negative of b. So b is a negative 6. So negative of negative 6 plus or minus the square root of, well, b squared is negative 6 squared. Negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. So I'm going to write it that way. 36 minus 4 times a, which is a negative 1, times c, which is a negative 9. All over 2a. All over 2 times a. A is a negative 1. Okay, so we're going to have to evaluate this thing. If I was in class with you, I would show you how to do this on the calculator. It's just using the fraction button and one other step. But being I'm just doing it out for you, I'll just skip that part. All right, so x equals negative of negative 6 is 6, plus or minus the square root of, now this is 36 minus 4 times negative 1 times negative 9. So it's negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4 times negative 9 is negative 36. So you have a 36 minus 36 here. Interesting. All over 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2. All right, can we all agree that the square root of 36 minus 36 is 0? 36 minus 36 is 0, and the square root of 0 is 0. So I'm going to just cross that out and put a 0. Therefore, we have 6 plus 0, which is 6, over negative 2. And we have 6 minus 0, which is 6, over negative 2. So we have the same answer twice. We don't need to write it twice. So x equals 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. X equals negative 3. So now what we want to do is we want to graph this thing, and we want to see if we come out with the same root, which means the x-intercept. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to try to neatly draw. I have an idea here. Oh, hold on. Draw an x and y axis, please. Okay, so we have our xy axis here. I had to stop to make it neater. All right, so we need a table. So I'm going to give you the table. I put this equation into my calculator, y equals, and then I put negative x squared minus 6x minus 9. I hit second graph, and then I get this table, x, y. All right, so my x's go from negative 6 to 0. Yeah, negative 6, woo, negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0. All right, so for the input of negative 6, I get an output of negative 9. For the input of negative 5, I get an output of negative 4. Copy this down, please. For the input of negative 4, I get a negative 1. For the input of negative 3, I get a 0. For the input of negative 2, I get a negative 1. Negative 1 gives you a negative 4, and 0 gives you a negative 9. So we're going to try to plot this as neatly as we can. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -9. -5, -4. -4, -1, -3, 0, -2, -1, -1, -4. I'm not doing the best job here estimating. And 0, -9. All right, that's not too bad. We make our parabola or curve. Okay, it looks like that. It's a little wobbly, but it's okay. Well, we would count out 1, 2, -3. This is a -3 here. X equals -3. Oh, wait, x equals -3, x equals -3. That's great. I want to point something else out. You see this y-intercept here? This y is equal to -9. That's our y-intercept. Look at the last number here, or the C value. It's -9. That C value is your y-intercept. It always will be your y-intercept, the C value. Okay? Alrighty. Hey, that's it. Have a great day, everybody.